to Ascension Messages, where we sit in conversation with benevolent beings who have messages of light, love, and expansion for our collective evolution. My name is Samara, and this is episode 17. And today we are sitting in conversation with the great awakened being, great divine consciousness of Tehuti, also referred to as Thoth or Thoth. There are a couple pronunciations of that variant that are in discussion. So, but I will be referring to this particular consciousness as Tehuti. These are timeless messages. So whenever you come across this, there may be something that resonates with your spirit or challenges your mind or your heart into its next, into a questioning, into a probing, or maybe it will be soothing to you. I invite you to embrace the messages in whichever way they come to you. They may even trigger you. So I was in meditation on the day of Tehuti, and so I did receive some messages and the invitation to do this podcast episode. I got a very clear few sentences to introduce this session today. So what came in meditation was following. The illusions are being revealed. Free yourself from the world others have created. Illusions of the past are crumbling all around you on a collective level, and so can you dissolve the hologram of yourself and your experiences contained within the greater illusion. Seek truth within yourself. Yes, so I didn't ask any questions of that. I just asked to have some time to sit with it, and then we'll turn around and have a conversation. In the morning, it was quite late. So I have a couple decks that I was drawn to for this reading, or guided towards rather for this reading. So I'll start there. So I was guided to actually decks that if I were to have, let's say, intellectualized or thought about it, as opposed to being led to it, these are not decks that I would have chosen for this reading at all. Because one of the decks here is a Angel Wisdom Tarot. And this feels, I get the message that there are a lot of beings, higher consciousness, our individual spirit teams are working diligently and consistently on getting us through this particular time, this particular phase. We are much closer to a significant awakening than we realize. And this may bring many of us to a point of exhaustion, a point of possibly feeling like giving up as well. And I'm hearing if the burden feels particularly heavy, it's because you have more to lay down. So back to the original, I'm going to put down this card that is burning under my hand, which is Wise Counselor, which could also come out as the Hierophant. It's card number 5. And back to the original message of the illusion is crumbling. Ooh, sorry, I forgot to do part of my introduction. If you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And just to remind you of how this session goes, you'll hear me in one of any 3 states or any combination of the 3. You'll either be hearing from my personality self, which is kind of speaking now, although I'm teetering into my higher self as well. Second is higher self. You'll hear from my higher self. Or third could be a fully channeled state where our guest speaks directly through me. That may or may not happen, but do rest assured that our guest is here, very much so. So welcome. So back to what I was saying. The illusion is crumbling. The illusions that we hold can be very strong. The illusion that surrounds us, the illusions that have been built up around us, has created a context in which we understand ourselves. And when those illusions around us crumble and we start to question things that we always believed, we start to also feel the weight of our own beliefs, how we've structured our own ego within that greater construct of how we understood the world. And so it can be a very dramatic, traumatic, and challenging transition or state to navigate, because the ego requires such definitions to survive. Yet we are always able to redefine ourselves. And this is a very empowering state. So many of us are going through, we're witnessing illusions crumble around us, celebrities, figures that used to be held on a pedestal in some way, whether or not that was truly earned or not, excuse me, is irrelevant. There was simply a celebrity culture, for example, or a culture of holding people in the public eye as, I'll say, take it as it resonates. You may have held certain people or industries in a different, let's say, light than others, right? But collectively, I'm just slowing it down so I can tap in. Collectively, especially in teenage years, during adolescence, when we are still formulating, we're forming our way in the world, we're forming the shape of who we want to be in the world. Popular media, popular society, and what we see on television, and it dictates a standard for us. And we may form understandings of ourselves within based on criteria that comes from that greater mainstream culture, whether we are aware of it or not. The majority, we have some relationship to it, arm's length, whether it be arm's length or not, because even if we are not identifying with it or forming our identity based off of popular media. Notice I'm speaking very generally and diplomatic. Yes. Even if we haven't done that for ourselves individually, we may be subjected to it by other people in a high school environment, for example. And so it does. Its effects do seep into our experience and seep into our personal definitions of ourselves and seep into also our understanding of experiences, the situations that we experienced. So Wise Counselor is coming here, and it says, unity with a spiritually minded community. Ask the divine for help and trust that answers will come. Compare traditional methods with new ideas to see which is best for you. So we're being asked, we have the divine opportunity to question everything, question everything. We won't end the sentence there. So to question everything, because this knowledge, this wisdom is very powerful. We become aware that there that the power to create illusion is very real. The power to obscure truth and true nature and true intentions is very real. And one should never take for granted that what they see on first glance is the truth. Hence, I feel like these 4 sentences that I was given last night are very definitive of what wants to be said in this discussion here. And we're just going deeper into that meaning. Seek truth within yourself. That also requires us to have a true understanding or seeking true connection with ourselves. Beyond who we think we are supposed to be. Many of you who are witnessing and partaking in this episode are on a journey or have been on a journey of knowing yourself more deeply, of spiritual, emotional evolution, and of seeking knowledge of yourself and of the world around you. That there is the invitation to rewind and see yourself I'm looking for the word. Re-educate yourself or raise your younger self again. It's almost a renewed adolescence where you learn about yourself, unlearn certain things about yourself. And see yourself within social constructs and within situations differently, given the new information that you have now. So if everything that was in front of you that was a marker for what's cool, what's in, what's desirable in society, if all of that was an illusion, where does that leave you? What is the truth of you if none of that was the truth? I'm going to shuffle the tarot again. Okay, we have the 9 of Cups and the 8 of Cups. Okay, so once again, confirmation is just many of you have a deep longing for who you've wanted to be. And that seemed like a distant dream or a childhood fantasy. The flip side of these structures that are falling around you is the opportunity for you to rebuild based on more truthful desires, on soul desires rather than ego desires. Many of you seek from life more than what you are experiencing or have experienced, yet are still jaded and pessimistic under the guise of being realistic. And the magnitude of change that you would like to have seems too profound. Too many people will be disappointed. There'll be too much upheaval in your world, your personal world. Yet, we are also drawing your attention to the great upheavals around you that are only increasing in number and magnitude. Within that great upheaval is your upheaval, a drop in the ocean. You can ride the wave of upheaval. For you to be the shining one that you are meant to be in this lifetime. And it is that time that your evolution is supported by a greater sweeping change. They're literally showing me a tsunami, a large wave. So there's a lot more coming, depending on when you are encountering this video, when I'm recording this, we're at this precipice around the start of major shifts in society. And so if you're listening to this soon, close to when I upload it, you may be feeling the same anticipation of an upheaval, of a lot of mirages. Yeah, I'm going to shuffle another tarot deck. Okay, we have what's it in reverse? The Three of Cups in reverse. We have the Nine of Cups again. And Serenity, which is, in this deck, Serenity is the parallel to the Hermit card. Okay, so we're being asked to you have to be careful who we're sharing our dreams with. We're truly planting seeds for our future, and they're very delicate still at this time. The celebration is coming, absolutely. So why is it, I'll ask our benevolent guest, Tehuti, why is it that this Three of Cups in reverse, that we should be, say, holding off on the celebrations? There is a time to formulate. We're at a time of formulation. That's what I'm hearing. You don't want to run once again with an unclear idea and an unclear intention. It is a time to collect wisdom. It is a time to master oneself, or master what one has learned up to now. Being a master means always being a student. But there is a time to sit with the knowledge of what we have and turn the knowledge into wisdom. And this knowledge is not just an intellectual knowledge. It is a knowledge that sits in the heart, the intelligence of the heart, especially the higher heart. It is a knowledge that comes through emotional experience and through intuitive experiences, where one comes to know themselves better and to know themselves as a facet of the divine better. Strengthening this connection as the next book requires you to be a new character. And this new character is simply a truer character, one that is truer to your soul's vibration, your soul's authentic expression. Hence why we say, do not say new chapter, but rather a new book, making that change, that transition requires deep introspection and deep seeing into the self. You cannot make this move by ignoring the past. The past must be integrated, understood, and laid to rest in a way that is holistic and complete. Okay, so that basically was the explanation of the three cards that came out there. The Three of Cups in reverse, Serenity, which shows the character on the card is meditating, and then it ends again with the Nine of Cups, which is once again your truest wishes, our desires, our true sense of joy and fulfillment, and the courage to feel those fully and trust that those things, that way of being, that favorite version of ourselves can unfold and be our physical reality, be our existence. I'm going to grab a final oracle here and then thank our benevolent guest again. Okay, and the final oracle here from the Golden Future Oracle by Diana Cooper. We have card number 33, Blueprint for 5D Humanity. Remember your gifts and powers. So, who shall speak on this? Shall I speak on this? I shall speak on this first. Okay. So, the Blueprint for 5D Humanity is saying that, okay, I'll take it how it resonates for me in particular as well, because yes, I am the host, but I'm also listening to this conversation that's going on. And for me, I feel many of us have experienced the, black sheep, outcast, or even if we've managed to fit in, we've made a lot of compromises to fit in. And this card is to remind us that your unique self is your gift to the world. Your gifts and your powers, our gifts and our powers lie in in the unique way that we were constructed, our unique interests, the things that we're good at that may or may not have made us employable in the 3D, neoliberal capitalist sense. And so we don't do those things as much. So this card is a reminder that 5D humanity embraces all of those traits that in the past were not revered or put on a pedestal. We're being brought back full circle to the beginning of the conversation and of the illusions that are breaking down. The values, the characteristics that were held up as ideals for us to model. And so I will leave it to our guest to close. You are in a time of sweeping change. You are in a time where false constructs, false respect, false intentions, all are coming to a head. They're all becoming clearer for the masses to witness, to see what has been built out of falsehood, on false foundations. And so that that new foundations can be built. That society, interpersonal relationships, careers, that your collective can stand on integrity of true intentions, of pure intentions, of nobility. And of true power. For that to be so, each of you individually must tap into your own individual wellstream of power and empowerment, which starts with the full embracing of who you are, seemingly flawed and all, and knowing your innate worth, being that manifestation of yourself that feels fulfilling to you, joyful to you, and being that in the face of some others who may not be able to embrace you just yet. But you will find the communities where you will be most impactful and where the give and take, the exchange of energy will be balanced. We urge you to seek out such communities, and we urge you not to take personally those communities who are not able to embrace you, and not to change your trajectory to suit fitting in anywhere that you're not fitting in. And with that, we leave you. I would like to thank our benevolent guest, Tehuti, Thoth, Thoth, all of the above. And I would like to thank you all for joining me today. And I will speak to you again next time. Until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.